Hey, quick video for you. So a lot of people use these distinct signal indicators where you have a third-party indicator, or in this example, we're going to use the candlestick pattern that comes with Ninja, where on a given bar, it will either be on or off. It's either a signal or nothing at all, right? So the candlestick pattern, if you're not aware of it, it's actually pretty cool. It gives you all these different patterns you can detect, and they'll make the bar gray and give you a little message here. So we're going to focus on the candlestick pattern indicator. And what we're looking for is to say, give me a signal whenever that's detected. Now, we can't read the word hammer number 5. We can't see that it's gray. That information is not exposed. But actually, this indicator and many signal indicators will provide a value along with the visuals, where they'll have a value of 1 if there's a signal, and 0 if there's no signal. And we can pick up on that. So let's go into BloodHound and it'll become more clear. Now, if it is 1 or 0, like this candlestick indicator, very easy to pick up using the threshold solver. Because at the end of the day, we could say, hey, if it's above 0, then that's a signal, right? Because 1 is above 0. So the threshold solver does exactly that. So let's go ahead and add the indicator in there. So we can type in candlestick pattern. Double click and make sure it's on the settings that match what you have on the chart. We're going to choose the hammer pattern. And on your indicator, now the candlestick is pretty simple. It's just giving us a pattern found plot. So we know that's the one we want to use. Yours might have other plots, and so you got to figure out which one is relevant to the signal that you're looking for. And some also have a different plot for long versus short. And so you just kind of have to do a little bit of trial and error, see, okay, which one is long, which one is short, or what am I looking for? But most people can kind of stumble on the right answer by kind of playing around with the different plots if your indicator is complex. Okay, so we'll just hit OK. So by default, actually, I could plug this in and we're going to get a signal there because this is looking for a value greater than 0, which means it's a 1. And by default, that is a long signal for the threshold solver. Now, if your indicator is a 1 for long and -1 for short, then you're done, because that's what this will look for by default. And that's what a lot of signal indicators do, 1, 0, -1 for different directions. But the candlestick pattern indicator is simpler than that. It's just on or off, true or false. And so what most people want to do, instead of saying, hey, this should always be a long signal, let's make it agnostic and let the direction of the signal come from your other rules. We'll get into that, but we got to set it up so it can do that. So we'll go into the output threshold rules down here. And what we want to do is set it so that both long and short are looking for the same condition, which is when the pattern indicator is greater than 0. So if I switch the short to greater than 0, now when it's greater than 0, we'll get both a long and a short output. Now I'll hit OK. And now you can see it's the same signal, but we're getting long and short on the same bar at the same time. Now, if you recall from the getting started videos, that's called a filter signal. And it's called that because its job, this guy's job, is not to decide the direction of the trade. That's going to be decided by some other set of rules that you will have. So I'll throw in an example of what it might look like. So let's say we use an AND node to say, hey, this needs to be providing a signal, long and short. And also, let's just do the bar direction. Actually pretty common with the candlestick pattern, where you say, okay, I require that this guy is producing a signal from the pattern indicator, but the direction of that signal is decided by my other rules, in this case, the direction of the bar. So we can see same signal, but it turned short because that short signal is the only one that is the same on both of these. This guy was giving us a short signal, and this guy was giving us both a long and a short, but that AND node filtered out the one that wasn't common between the two. This guy and this guy gave us short signal, and so we're allowing the short to pass through. And so if you have a whole bunch of other set of rules that say, hey, I've got all these other things I'm looking for, but I only want to allow them on bars that match my signal indicator, then you're good to go. Okay? So that's how we detect a distinct signal indicator output in BloodHound. Most third-party indicators work correctly, but of course they do need to be producing that plot, that 1, 0, maybe -1. Sometimes they're 1 and 2, right? So if it maybe long is 1, short is 2, in that case, you could go in here and say if the indicator is exactly equal to 1, but if it's exactly equal to 2, then give us a short output. So, sorry, 1, long, 2, short. That depends on your indicator, right? Now, we're not getting anything right now because it doesn't match the bar direction. But if your indicator behaves that way, again, you may need to fiddle around with it and see kind of how it behaves, or reach out to the developer or something like that just to understand how your indicator works. All right, so that's BloodHound. That is a signal if you want to add other rules to your signals. But what if you want to trade automatically with your signal indicator and you have no other rules you need to add to it? It's already perfect for you. So adding BloodHound may be a little overkill for that scenario. So you can go straight to BlackBird. If you're using BlackBird to auto trade and you just want to use that signal as is for your entries, you can go in here and instead of choosing BloodHound, you can choose the indicator-based signal. And so to do that, it's set up very similar. We're going to choose our indicator. There's our candlestick pattern. There's our hammer pattern we're looking for. And then in here, we're saying, hey, if it's greater than 0, give us a long entry. And if it's less than 0, give us a short entry, right? So for the candlestick pattern, it will always enter long on those bars because it will never produce a value below 0, but some signal indicators do. And then again, it still supports equal to. So let's say your indicator is 1 for a long, equal to 2 for a short, and then maybe a value of 3 is to exit, to flatten your trade. In which case, you could just set it to whether it's short or long, exit if it produces a value of 3. Now, I don't know what your third-party indicator, how it behaves, on what these different numbers mean. That's unique to the indicator. So I couldn't tell you if this makes any sense for you, but this is just an example of an indicator that might do that. If it's 1, enter long. If it's 2, enter short. And if it's 3, flatten the trade. So this is one way to do that. And you're good. And then from then forward, you just set up your trades however you like. And as long as you have auto trading turned on and you're on a live market, it will listen for those signals and enter a trade automatically as if you had clicked go long or go short. It will sort of do that for you and then manage the trade however you have it set up. So hope that helps. Just a quick example of a distinct signal indicator being used in BloodHound and BlackBird. Let us know in the comments if there's any other simple example concepts you'd like in these videos, or if you have something more complex and you'd like to see it demonstrated, you can join the weekly workshops as well. Cool, thanks. Have a good day.